Thank you, Charles. Awesome. Thanks, Charles, and welcome to everybody. Sorry, I'm doing it. Welcome to everybody. I'm quite sure that we're all going to have the same challenges today with our country going back into stage 2 load shedding. I'm sure we're all going to be affected at some stage during this session. Charles, we might lose Charles at about 10 o'clock when they go from generator back onto power. I go from power onto inverter at 10 o'clock. So if you lose any of us, or if you go off the session, just come back into the session. If we disappear off the session, we will be back. I should have a seamless integration across, but you know, you never know. We're working with technology. So welcome to everybody today. And as Charles said, I've worked with Charles for a gazillion and 3 years actually, across many aspects of the hospitality sector. My own background is actually in finance. I'm a boring accountant, but I left that world 20 years ago because it's just too boring and structured. And I opened my own consulting practice. So obviously using all my learning in accounting and business and all of those wonderful things, and consulting into business on financial practice, business practice, and my tours took me heavily into the hospitality sector. So I've been very fortunate to work and consult in some very, very, very wonderful large hotel chains, beautiful golf clubs. I lived on a golf estate for a while and helped them kind of remodel their business in the Eastern Cape. I'm based in Port Elizabeth, normally very close to the hill, those of you who know PE, but today I'm off-site and I'm a stone's throw away from Little Warmer Golf Club. So PE, as you all know, is very small, so things are all quite close. So without further ado, we are going to go into today's presentation, which is about stock control, but I can see lots of blanks. I'd like to see your faces, and I don't want to see blanks. If you can switch your cameras on so that we can just get to know. Hello, Sebastian, are you sorted? We can just get to know who you are and where you're from. There we go. Hello, hello. I can see faces. Taryn, can you put on your screen, your camera there? And Vusi? Cool. So if you want to introduce yourselves to the rest of the group, we're going to start with Andrew. Let's start with you.
Hi, everybody. Thanks to CMASA for setting this up today. My name's Andrew. I'm the food and beverage manager at Steenberg Golf Club. Yeah, we are in a bit of a sort of on the food and beverage side of things on a rebuild at the moment, having recently taken the food and beverage operation on in-house. Obviously, COVID has required businesses to take major decisions on how they're progressing forward. So Steenberg has for a long time been run as an outsource from their food and beverage side of things, and they've now brought it on in-house. So I've joined the operation in October last year, and yeah, we're busy just moving forward and progressing to something that is more orientated with the brand that is Steenberg. So yeah, wow. Thanks very much for today.
Thanks, Andrew, and welcome to the gang.
Thank you.
In Waletsi's block, who's in? I can see 3 people in that block. Talk to me.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Moletsi, the one with the hand.
Rosina. And Moletsi, where are you from?
Moletsi is from Country Club Johannesburg. I'm the assistant F&B manager.
And I'm Terence. I'm the kitchen manager at the Country Club.
Sorry, I can't hear you, bud. You need to talk up.
Okay, I'm Rosina Moachin, the restaurant manager, Country Club Woodmead.
Also, kind of CCJ. Okay. Yeah. Cool. And with you guys, I didn't hear the third person.
Rosina. Rosina Moachin, the restaurant manager.
Rosina. Okay, and who else is with you guys?
You're with Terence Zamini,
Yeah.
duty manager.
Okay, DM. Okay, well, welcome. Well done.
Thank
Molly,
you.
you've been with us before. I remember your face.
Yes, yes, yes. We did that emotional intelligent webinar.
You did. I can remember.
Yes.
I can remember.
Yes.
Good to
It's
have you
all-
back in the room.
Thanks. It's always good to have a familiar face around.
And we've got Claudia. Is Claudia or Claudia?
Hi, it's Claudia. I'm Claudia Law. I'm currently working as the food and beverage manager of Ramsar Country Club.
Okay. You work with Megan.
Yes.
I give her my regards. Thank
Will
you,
do.
Claudia. And Margaret, you've got a great name, Margaret. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Margaret. I'm from Swartkop Country Club and I'm the operations manager for the clubhouse.
Okay, so you ops man. Okay, and I know in the CMASA block will Matt, put your camera on so everybody can see you. They all deal with you. Put the camera on and say hi. Am I putting you on the spot, Matt? Charlie's laughing. And talk to us, Matt.
Hi guys, sorry, business with the admin on this side. Nice to see everybody, nice to see everyone's faces. And yeah, keen for a really good webinar.
Thanks, Matt. So Matt is the person that you all deal with behind the scenes. He does all our bookings, keeps us sane, makes sure all the paperwork is on track. So thanks for that, Matt. Okay, in Jason's block, who have we got in Jason's block? You need to unmute yourselves. There we go.
Hi, it's Sashni from Shlali Country Club, and I'm the bookkeeper.
Charlie, you do the books. Okay. Sorry, I didn't get your name.
It's Sashni.
Sashni. Thanks, Sashni.
Yes.
Morning, I'm Jason and I'm the sports manager from Shlali Country Club.
Okay, Charlie, sportsman. Sorry, I'm just writing down as you guys are going. Sebastian, is your mic fixed? Can we hear you?
Can you hear me?
Good.
Yeah.
Talk to us.
Hey, I'm Sebastian Brown. I'm from Clover Valley Country Club, bar manager. Great to see everybody. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day.
Thank you. Thank you. And is the bar open yet?
No, only at 11.
Daniel, in your block.
Morning, everybody. I'm Daniel, the operations assistant at Rondebosch Golf Club. And then we've got Michelle.
Morning, I'm Michelle Kazi. I'm a catering manager for Rondebosch Golf Club. Thank you for the opportunity.
Pleasure, guys. Pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. Nice to have you here with us. And now we've got Yaku.
Good morning, everyone. Yaku, I'm general manager at Maya Golf in Windhoek, Namibia. So, yeah, luckily no load shedding this side. Yeah, we've got a public holiday here, but we're all at work, and being a small team, F&B is part of my job. So looking forward to this webinar.
Wow, and what public holiday is it today?
It's called Kasing Day. So it's some sort of long time history battle that we won, obviously, on this day. Yeah,
Okay.
May is full of public holidays. Yeah, so.
I see that because you also had a public holiday on Monday like we did in South Africa.
That's correct, yes.
Cool. Well, and I know some of your struggles in Windhoek is acquisition of alcohol and prices.
That's correct. We very much on import most of our product. Besides, obviously, our local breweries, which is very, very popular, which gets exported more than used locally. So, but yeah, it's
Yaku, I must talk to you offline. You must give me your details because I consult into a business in Namibia that can help you. So give me your details offline.
Awesome. Thank you
okay,
so much.
Tyra.
Will do.
Tyra.
Hello guys, how are you?
Good,
my name is Trinus Makoni. I'm doing stock control at the Wanderers Golf Club, and I'm here with Sabelo Njovu, the kitchen manager, and I'm here with Tuso, the duty manager. Looking forward to learn a lot from you guys.
Thank you. Sorry, you talked too quickly. I can't write so quick. All right, Rashad, in your block.
Sorry?
Tell us, introduce yourself, Rashad. Tell us who you are and what you do and where you are.
Okay, I'm Trinus Makoni. I'm from the Wanderers Golf Club, and I'm doing stock control.
Also stock. Awesome.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic.
Good morning. I'm Rashad from Western Province Golf, and I'm doing golf operations. Good morning, everybody.
Morning. Golf ops. All right. Is it Kudzai? Is that how you Kudzai? Am I correct there?
Yes, you're correct. Morning, everyone. It's Kudzai. I'm from the Houghton Golf Club.
The which
I'm
one?
the assistant for the Houghton Golf Club.
Houghton. Okay.
Yes. I'm the food and beverage assistant manager.
It's in F&B. Cool.
Yes.
Thank you. Warwick, in your block. Warwick?
Hey, Miguel, can you hear me now?
We can hear you. Yes, we can.
Right. Yeah, my name is Steve. It's not Warwick.
Oh, sorry, Steve. Okay.
No problem at all. And
Yeah.
I'm here from Island Gate Golf Club in
Which one?
Dahlstrom.
In
Island Gate.
Dahlstrom?
Yeah, in Dahlstrom, Island Gate Golf for Trout State.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what do you do there, Steve?
I'm the food and beverage manager here.
Okay. Cool. And with you?
With me is Mzila. She's our head of kitchen.
Okay.
You must be.
Head of kitchen.
Yes.
Cool. I actually have Steve, I've got family that live in Dahlstrom, in the Critchley Hackle, in the, yeah. So I know that area very well. Ferdi, talk to us.
Hi, good morning, everybody. I'm Ferdi from Stellenbosch Golf Club in Stellenbosch.
Yeah.
Duty manager here. Also part of stock control as well.
Awesome. And who have you got with you, Ferdi?
This is Bianca. She's a little bit of doing everything here at Stellenbosch. Pro shop stock. And receptionist.
A bit of everything. Cool. Vusi? Vusi, talk to us. Yeah, Vusi's not there. Gavin, in your block?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Gavin. No, now we can't hear you now. We can just see your mouth going, but we can't hear you.
Okay, my mic is on. Can you hear me now?
I can, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay, I'm from Reading Country Club in Alberton, and I'm the food and beverage manager.
Cool. Excellent. Okay, Vusi, in your block, anybody back there? No. Okay, let's start, guys. So we really, the manner in which that I like to lead webinars or train is very interactive. So I cannot sit here and talk for 3 hours because I'll just get bored with my own voice and you'll get bored of my voice. So the manner in which we're going to do things is we're going to discuss concepts, we're going to explore concepts, so very, very interactive. We are going to have frequent breaks because I'm sure none of you can sit for 3 hours. So there will be some body breaks, a chance to get coffee. So just to give you a little bit of indication of how we're going to run today. So I just want to share my screen with you so you can see our PowerPoint for today. Okay. Right, can we all see? I'm going to make it bigger. Whoa. Come on. Why won't it play nicely with me now? There we go. Cool. You should all be able to see that. Can you all see my screen beautifully?
Yes.
You can. Awesome. Awesome. Fantastic. Okay. So we are going to be looking at a formal unit standard today. And for those of you who've done any training through CMASA or through any of the other training bodies that work with the clubs, you will know that there's a thing called a unit standard. So a unit standard is basically a curriculum. It's a small subject that is registered on the South African qualification framework. And a multiple of unit standards make up a qualification. So this unit standard is taken out of the Food and Beverage Management National Certificate NQF4. And for those of you who've done this qualification before, if my memory serves me correctly, it's SACRA 14113. And this is contribute to the identification of short-term supply needs. It's an NQF level 4. So again, what does this NQF level thing mean? It means that on what level of learning is this information? And the level of learning is equivalent to the level of learning that you would do in a matric certificate. So this is not part of a matric, but it is the same level of learning. Are there any of you who've actually done the Food and Beverage Management qualification? Have you, Andrew? Okay. No? Anybody else?
No.
No? Anybody else done F&B, man? Okay. So, Charlotte, I hope you're listening. Here's a little bit of a punt, an advert punt. I would strongly recommend all of you have to do with stock control and food and beverage management. It is a very, very, very good qualification to do. Some of you might say, but I've got a degree. Why should I want to do something that's the same level as a matric? Simply because the content of this qualification is going to give you a very solid understanding of the food and beverage environment. And not only that, this qualification is deemed as a learnership. And I do see that one of your courses coming up or your webinars coming up in a week or two's time is about tax and taxation for clubs. And because it is a registered learnership, there are amazing tax rebates available on doing this qualification. So if you want to find out more about doing the full qualification, food and beverage management, please chat to Charles. And if there are any further questions, Charles can obviously bounce off me or Dionysus, which is a training provider, which Charles does work with. And we would be able to offer you this qualification, okay, if there's an interest. So these words, out of stock, what does that bring to mind for you? If you see that out of stock, what goes through your head?
A lot of complaints from the customers.
Lots of complaints from the customers.
Loss of revenue.
Lack of revenue, yeah. When you are the customer and you see that word out of stock, what comes to your mind?
A little bit of frustration.
A little bit of frustration.
Yeah, because as a supplier, you should have alternative arrangements if you don't have your product available.
Exactly. Exactly. What else comes to mind when you see this? Come talk to me. When you see out of stock on the shelves, you go to the supermarket, or
planning?
I can't hear.
Poor planning.
Poor planning. Yes. What else?
Lack of management.
Lack of management, lack of control, poor planning. Your customer is frustrated. You are going to get frustrated. So if you go to a restaurant and you're looking at their menu, or you're looking at the wine list, and oh, there's beautiful wine. I feel like that one. Oh no, we don't have that. Good. All right, we go back to the wine list. We choose something else. No, don't have that either. You immediately start getting frustrated, and you start thinking, do these guys really know what they're doing? Do I really want to be here and support this entity? That is exactly what your customer is going to go through when they get to your environment and they get told, no, don't have. Sorry, no. Or, oh, I must first go and check. I don't know what we've got in stock. Okay, so just like you get frustrated as a customer, your customers get frustrated with you when there is no stock. Okay, so what are we going to learn this morning? We're going to learn what is the importance of stock control and what is consumption levels, why is it important, what are lead times, why are they important, what is the impact of insufficient stock on customer levels, what is the impact? How do we implement efficient procedures to identify short-term stock requirements to ensure sufficient supplies? So how do we implement sufficient or efficient procedures to identify short-term stock requirements to ensure sufficient supplies? What is the importance of implementing stock procedures to evaluate condition of stock? How do we identify problems with suppliers or suppliers? How to better identify and maintain short-term supply needs? How to prioritize and delegate to carry out work in an organized, efficient manner? And why do we need to adhere to legislation and regulations? Cool. So this will be shared with you. I just want to check the chat box. Somebody, sorry guys, chat box is now Vusi. I just want to check here. Okay, Vusi, you say the sound is very soft. Has anybody else got a sound challenge? No. All right, Vusi, if you have a look at your computer, I just want to get you on screen so I can see you. Vusi, if you have a look at your computer, you might need to increase the sound of your volume. So that the problem is not on this side, but it could be the volume on your side. Are you able to increase the volume on your computer? I just want to type for a CM message. Okay. So Vusi comes right there. Awesome. Okay, guys and ladies. So the first thing we're going to look at is a couple of terminologies and terms that we use when we talk about stock control. So what is your stock level? What is their terminology? So a stock level is the amount of stock or product that a company has on hand for use in various departments. So I know that we are focusing very strongly on the food and beverage sector at the moment, stock control in food and beverage, but in your environments, especially the GMs that are with us. We've got Jason, sports manager. Have we got another sports manager with us? We've also got Pro Shop with us. So what other stock levels do you need to control? The non-F&B people. Unmute your mics and tell me.
Okay, I've
Golf
got at Omaya, I've got to obviously look after the golf course as well. So there's certain stocks and certain things that we got to look after: fertilizer, chemicals, course accessories, all that, and then obviously the Pro Shop and the F&B.
Absolutely. And obviously you've got the blades and you've got the twine. We are recording this, Jess. So Jess, this is being recorded. Let me just answer Jess. Sorry, I just want to respond to Jess that it is being recorded.
She did hear you, Margaret.
Did she? Okay, thanks, Charlie. Okay, so you've also, from a course management perspective, you've got things like your gut that you're using for cutting. You're using diesel. You're using petrol. You are using fertilizers. You're using mower blades. Pro Shop. What do we need to manage in a Pro Shop?
Okay, Pro Shop's also obviously all the golf balls, clothing, consumables, all sorts of merchandise.
And what about your scorecards?
Yeah, that as well.
Thank you. Could I ask you, Charles, could you just offline see if you can help Vusi, because he's struggling there with sound? Thanks, Charles. Okay, so your stock levels is the amount of stock or product that a company has on hand for use in various departments. When we talk about consumption level, so that is the amount of stock consumed by a guest or a club in a given amount of time. So your consumption level is how much of this product is being used in a given time, be it a day, be it a week, be it a month. So how much is being used? And you can apply that across the board to every single stock item. Okay, what are lead times? The lead time is the time that it takes to process, prepare, and produce and transport the item to your club. So the lead time is if you are placing this order on your supplier, how long will your supplier take to get the item to you? And added to that is how long do you take at your club to GRV the item, to receive it into stock so that it is then available for use. So I refer particularly to bar stock here. So let's just talk about Cokes, for example. So if your lead time on your supplier is 2 days, however, to GRV the order and to get it onto your stock control system, because you cannot sell the Coke the minute it hits your back door. You still have to check your order, process your order, and receive your order onto your system into stock before you can sell it out of stock. Otherwise, you're going to start scrambling up your stock system completely. How long does that GRV process take? So if your order arrives at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and your stock controller goes off at 4:30, it may only go into stock the next morning. So as part of your lead time process, you need to make sure that you're building in the time that you need to get that item into your stock to be able to process it out of stock again. Okay, so delivery times is the time only to transport the item. So transport it from supplier to you, and that should form part of your lead time. So some of the clubs, let's take Windhoek for example, Jaco, how long does it take for you to get your stock from South Africa to you in Windhoek?
Well, it depends. Yeah, we normally get it about between 2 and 5 days. But yeah, if you look at pro shop stock at the moment or golf merchandise, it's 2, 3, 4 weeks even now at the moment.
Exactly. And it could get stuck at the border.
Yes.
There was a consignment of wine from some of the Stellenbosch wine estates the other day. That paperwork was fine at the for the border post, yet border customs stopped it, and it sat in customs for 10 days. No real reason. Okay.
That happens often.
It happens often, absolutely. So your lead time plus your delivery time is how long does it take from supplier till I can actually sell it again. Right. What are your past stocks? So past stock is quite simply determining your consumption level. So how much of this item do we sell in a day? Multiplied by your lead time and delivery time. So if I sell 20 Cokes a day and it takes 5 days to get my Cokes from my supplier into my stock to be able to sell, my past stock will be 20 times 5. And as a good business rule practice, you multiply that by 2. Because you don't know if something is going to go wrong with getting the stock item to you. So you don't want to get to a position where you're out of stock. You can't sell that item. So your past stock is basically your minimum stock level. And when you hit past stock, you reorder. And this is a big area that clubs are falling short on. Just by, I don't want to put anybody on the spot or in the spotlight, but how many of you do use the past stock system? Good. I'm seeing there a hand.
We do.
Across the board, food, beverage, pro shop. Are you using past stock systems?
Yes.
Okay, because I can also tell you that most systems that you are using, stock control systems, have a blokkie in there for past stock. And that should be maintained all the time, because when you hit your past stock level, your system will automatically alert you that you now need to reorder your Coke, your Castle Light, or your food item. And we'll talk about how to manage food stocks in a moment. Okay, so past stocks are a very, very important management tool that need to be used. So what causes insufficient stock? Insufficient stock is caused by discrepancies in stock reports which are compiled during stock takes. So how often does it happen that your theoretical stock says one thing and your actual stock says another? It happens, doesn't it? So how do we work around that? How do we make sure that doesn't happen? So if we look at the beverage department, are we taking opening stocks and closing stocks per shift? So in your bars, in your pro shops, Is there an opening stock? Is there a closing stock? Are you doing a mini stock take at the handover of each shift? Because that will very quickly pick up stock discrepancies. Okay. Are you, as food and beverage managers, duty managers, GMs, doing random stock checks? Do you look on your system? Oh, I should have 40 castle lights in this bar A. Do you walk into that and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, any random given time? Do you do that? And not at the same time every day. Because if you just pop into the environment, quickly go into your system, okay, we should have 40 Cokes, let's count how much is in this bar here. The bar staff will quickly learn. Quickly pass up. We don't know when they're going to pop up. We don't know what they're going to check. You never check the same items. Sometimes you check fast-moving items. Other times you check slow-moving items. Okay. Sometimes you pick some where there are units. Sometimes you pick where there are tots. Always random. Same with the pro shop. Different items, different times, you check. Same with the kitchen. All right. We need to ensure accuracy in compilation and interpretation of our stock sheets and our stock reports, so that records on which you base your orders are up to date and correct. So again, folks, your stock takes are done by your bar staff, correct? Your kitchen management staff. Who captures your stock takes? Okay. So generally your stock reports are coming to you as F&B managers, assistant F&B managers, GMs, accounts people, am I correct? Do you take for gospel everything that's on that stock report?
No, absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
No.
No. Again, especially your slow-moving items. Because the barman get clever and they remember. I had a barman, he could tell me from 1 month to the next, oh, we've got so many tots of that brandy, it never moves. So if I didn't pop up from time to time and say, let's quickly just check the tots in this bottle, it could be stolen, easy peasy, could disappear, could walk. Okay, so again, when you get your stock reports, go and do random checks on them. Okay, you will also find that there could be finger troubles or writing troubles when stock takes are done. So maybe there's 354 items, but they're at 345. Okay, so all stock discrepancies should actually be investigated, both from a kitchen perspective and a beverage perspective. So if we talk about kitchen stocks for a moment, one of the biggest challenges in kitchen stock is your unit of measure. Okay, what do I mean by unit of measure?
Kilos or mils.
Pardon?
Kilos or mils.
Kilos or mils or what else?
Grams.
Grams, inches.
Pounds.
Another a big confusing factor is racks of ribs. So your unit of measure, you need to ensure that your unit of measure and your supplier's unit of measure tie up. Because let's just, for example, give you the example with racks of ribs. If your supplier is selling your racks of rib to you in inches, Okay, 1 rack of ribs, they're selling in each, but your unit of measure is in kilograms. You're always going to have a stock discrepancy. So ensure on your stock system that your unit of measure is the same as your supplier's unit of measure. Another good one is sachets of sugar. You know those little sugar sachets? On your stock system.
Yes, I can hear.
You can hear. Oh,
Yes.
welcome. Welcome, Vicky. So on your stock system, what is your unit of measure for sugar? On your supplier stock system, what is your unit of measure for those little sachets? Are they eaches or is it per box? And how many are in the box? How many in the box? Exactly. Exactly. But you need to, so those are little things that you need to look at. Your tea bags, you know, your tea bags that come in the sachets, same thing. So in your kitchen stock, you need to make sure that your stock control's unit of measure and the way you are receiving it is in the same form. Okay. Now, also talking kitchen here. How many of you folk, okay, I'm going to ask this differently. What consumption principles are you using in your kitchens for kitchen stock? Come, GMs, kitchen people, F&B people, what consumption methodologies are you using?
Portion.
Portions.
Portion control, yeah.
Portions, yes.
From the production kitchen, it's normally unit control, things that are pre-made that we have for halfway, so it's unit control.
Yes. Okay. But then for your unit control and your portion control on stuff that is pre-made, Andrew, do you pre-make it yourself or do you buy it in pre-made?
No, it's pre-made. So obviously we buy in the individual units that go into it, developed into a recipe and then pre-made.
There we go. So do you have recipe items?
Yeah.
So, okay, great. So what happens when we talk about recipe items? I'm going to talk about, let's just say, bolognese sauce for spaghetti bolognese, because I'm sure you all have that on your menu. Kind of a standard thing, isn't it? Okay, so for us to produce bolognese, we've got mince, we've got tomatoes. What else? Help me.
Herbs.
We've got tomato paste. We've got
Onions,
herbs,
garlic.
oil, onions, we've got garlic, we've got grated carrots.
Spaghetti, of course.
So, spaghetti, that's a separate one.
Okay.
Okay. To make a batch, okay, when you talk about a recipe, to make a recipe, and this recipe is going to give us 20 portions for argument's sake. So to make 20 portions in one recipe, this is the quantity of ingredients we need. So that's called a recipe item. So we're going to draw those recipe items out of stock. Am I correct? You take them out. I'm going to make my pot of bolognese, but then I'm going to bring into stock 20 portions of bolognese. Am I correct? Okay, staff, GMs, F&B? Absolutely. So you have your recipe items, you take them out of stock, you make your pot of bolognese, you bring your portions into stock. When you sell those portions in your point of sale system, what is going to happen? Your point of sale will take the items out of stock. Correct. Just like you do with Cokes or beers. So when you buy your beers or your Cokes, you enter it onto your stock system. When you're selling it at point of sale, boom, it comes out of stock. Same concept. So that is one way of working. Another way, which a lot of the smaller clubs use this, is they will say, we are going to work on consumption stock. Okay. Does anybody here work on consumption stock?
Yes, at Reading we do.
Okay. Anybody else use consumption?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So what is
At Mount Hitchcomb, we also work on that way.
you also? Okay. So
Yeah.
consumption stock is what is my opening stock value? So I've got 100 kilograms of sugar, the start of my stock period. And in the stock period, I've bought another 100 kilograms of sugar. Now there's 200 kilograms of sugar. But at the end of the stock period, I've only got 50 kilograms of sugar. So that means I've used 150 kilograms through that period. So it's opening stock plus purchases will give you, and then you have a closing, and you've got your closing stock. So the difference between opening stock, purchases, and closing stock gives you your consumption for that stock period. You may turn to me and say, "Whew, it's very scary." Your clubs that are using consumption stock as a measure of units or as a management tool for measuring stock, they will know what the trends in consumption for their club are. So if suddenly the sugar usage goes up, they can say, what did we have on this month that made our sugar usage climb so drastically? Oh, that's right. We had that huge function where we had to make so many malva puddings, and your malva pudding obviously pulls a lot of sugar. Or no, there was nothing. Whoops. Then there's obviously a sugar problem. Sugars are going missing. Okay. So both methods of stock control are good. They are equally as much work as one another. With your consumption stock levels, though, you do have to have a GM that is absolutely on the ball in terms of what is going on in that kitchen, what your trends of usage are, because the science is not as strict as if you are using an in and out stock system. Okay. Cool. So the importance of stock is also to remind staff to immediately report stock systems that are low. So yes, you've got your past stock system, but let's just say for argument's sake that there's been some bloopses with capturing stock or recording stock. You can't just rely on the fact that you've got a past stock system. You need to train your staff that if a stock item is looking low, they need to come and report it. Okay, it's not a question of what's on my job. It does become everybody's job when you can't deliver. All right, so proper stock control also assists you with the ability with forecasting. So when you guys are looking at ordering, when you're looking at forecasting stock, it's very important that all aspects of the club are involved. So what do I mean by this? So golf days, events, functions, those who are responsible for managing and ordering stock levels need to be included in function forecasting. They need to understand what is coming up over the next 2 weeks, 1 month. So how far in advance is your function forecasting? Are you sharing your function forecasting with your F&B department? Because your F&B department or whoever is placing your orders needs to know what the demands are coming up. So your function forecasts for the next 3 months should be shared ongoingly with your F&B department. so that they know what to make provision for. Okay. Factors that impact stock control when using the past stock system can include the following. So the rate of demand, so in other words, your consumption levels, how much we are using, the rate at which stock is being consumed. We need to understand the rate at which stock is moving. And if you need to amend your past stock system, then you need to do that. But you regularly need to be checking your consumption levels. The storage or shelf life of the various products. So if we look in the bar environment, what kind of products have a very limited shelf life? Who can give me some examples from a bar environment?
Any breads that you use?
No, bar, from a bar environment. Okay, you have breads in your bar, okay.
What will be your garnishes for your cocktails, the
Yes.
lemons, your oranges, and things for your gins and whatever you're putting in your gins and tonics. I mean, that lasts, what, 2-3 days, if that?
Yeah. What else?
Your fresh fruit juices?
I can't hear.
The fresh fruit juices.
The fresh produces for the kitchen. Cool. Let's think about beverages in the bar environment.
The fruits for the cocktails.
Fruits for the cocktails, yes.
Milk for your coffees.
Milk for our coffees, yes.
Your fresh juices.
Fresh juices.
Draft.
Right one?
Draft. Beer draft. Draft beer.
Oh, draft beer. Sorry, I kept hearing drugs. I was thinking, what?
Drugs in the bar.
Okay, your draft beers. Yes. What other
Yes.
beverages? What other beverages? What about your energades?
Soft drinks.
Yeah, your soft
Tea
drinks.
water,
Uh,
sparkling water.
generally okay, but one of the things folk do need to keep a very close eye on is your energy drinks, like your Energade, your Powerade. So particularly the flavors that don't really move fast. So we all know the popular flavors are the orange or the nachi. But which is the blue one? Blueberry. The gross blue one that doesn't move so
Blueberry.
fast? Okay, so you need to keep a very close eye on expiry dates, particularly if they don't move fast. Because believe it or not, those things have an expiry date. I think Andrew's gone to check his energy drinks quickly. Okay, so also if we move to the kitchen, if we move to the kitchen environment, I mean, there's so many things. Your fresh produce, your dairy. Give me some more examples for kitchen.
Sorry, contributing.
What? I can't hear. Say that again. Can't hear. Okay. So we're looking at fresh produce, all your fruit, all your veggies, your eggs, your dairy. What else can you think of in the kitchen environment?
Your meat.
Your meat, absolutely. But if your meat is going to be frozen, you're okay. But things like your steaks that you potentially do not freeze. You don't want to freeze your steak. So your chicken, your prepped foods.
Yeah, but most of the stuff is coming frozen
Your
from
prepped foods, like the food
Oh.
that you prepare and then you like keep it away.
Okay, so lots of the stuff is coming frozen, so that's fine. But your fresh stuff that you make, so particularly, so if you are are creating portions, you will freeze
Yeah.
those. For example, your bolognese, you're going to freeze that. So that's not really a problem. If it's coming in frozen, that's not a problem. But for those of you that are buying in your fresh meat, for example, your steak, you're not freezing that. You need to ensure that you are adhering to your shelf life, you're adhering to your use by dates so that you are not wasting product and you're not throwing away. Okay, if we look at the frequency of product usage, so how often do we use this product? So every club, every environment has a customer that only wants a specific of something. And then they throw a tantrum when they get to your club. They only come once a month and you don't have what they like. Okay.
Every Wednesday and Saturday.
But this is where food and beverage, you need to be keeping an eye on your bookings, your golf bookings or your function bookings. So if you know that Mrs. Smith only drinks this particular type of wine, nobody else wants it. You have got to be watching the bookings and you can see, oh, Mrs. Smith is coming for dinner next week. Best I make sure we've got her Robertson sweet wine for her. Okay, so food and beverage, you need to be watching that booking book. You need to be watching the forecasts and also teach your front of house people. Okay, we've just kicked over to inverter. I haven't lost anybody. Oh, good. Okay, I'm still here. Teach your front of house people. So one of the things that when I'm working in operations, your barmen are a wealth of information. Your watrons are a wealth of information. I had a barman in a club. He could say to me, he would go every week, he would check the golf bookings on a Monday for the weekend. He'd say, oh, Mr. So-and-so is coming. He only drinks that. We must make sure we've got it. Or, ooh, that golfer, his wife likes this wine. We must make sure we've got it. So make sure that your front of house people are part of your ordering system. Or, ooh, these people are coming. Their kids drink a lot of blue Energiades. Do we have enough stock? Okay, very, very important.
But what about your walk-ins and stuff? You don't have control over that as well.
Yeah, you don't have control over your walk-ins.
What I do, I check with them.
Okay.
They check what they need and then I order.
All right. So with your walk-ins, if it is a product that you do not keep, you need to train your front of house people to say, ma'am, sir, this is not a product that we commonly keep because our guests don't use this. However, if you are going to be coming to our club frequently, please let us know in advance so that we can make sure that you have this. Okay, so that's
There's a little bit of a conundrum there. What you're saying is because most clubs are using different sponsors and they don't normally give you a heads up of when they are pitching up, and you don't want to go in that direction explaining certain stuff to them.
Okay, when you talk about different sponsors, talk to me about that.
No, it's like we're still on the same level. Like when sponsors are walking in, we can't just say, yeah, but we don't have this and this and that, because we have to make arrangements for certain people who actually are coming on a regular basis.
Yeah. No, you don't pitch it to them like that. So what you would just say, let's just say, I want tomato juice. Okay, I walk in, tomato juice is something that goes off as well if it's not frequently.
Yep.
So I want my tomato juice. Then you just very, very respectfully say to the client, ma'am, this is not an item that we keep as, our normal guests are not using this. But if you are going to be visiting us more frequently, I will certainly make sure that we keep stock for you. And when you make your booking, please ask them to tell me that you're coming, and I will make sure we've got that stock for you. Okay, so you're putting yourself out there to say, let me, it's not something we put, but make sure that when you make your booking to come, or if you're planning to come, please just phone through and let us know you're coming, so we can make sure we've got the tomato juice for you. Okay. Cool. Okay. Seasonal demands, for example, ice cream in summer. I'm quite sure your ice cream usage goes up in summer, goes down in winter. Okay. So again, look at your stock trends from your previous summer. Make sure that you've got the right stock levels. When you've got events happening, or you've got golf days, family golf days, you know there are going to be kiddies at this golf day, up your levels accordingly. And when we're talking about events, so for those of you who have annual events of the same nature, I'm sure I'm preaching to the converted here, but take a look back on last year's event. So what did you sell in the previous year's event? Look at this year's event. Are the numbers coming to the event the same as the previous year, or do we have to adjust accordingly? So one of the very big golf events that happens in the Eastern Cape is the Castlelite Stella Artois Drive Cup. It's a very big golf event between East London golfers and PE golfers. And I was consulting to a club that hosted, when after Fish River closed, where they always had it, they moved it to a new venue, and it was the first time this event was being hosted in that venue. Fish River obviously refused to give any stock consumption of the previous events, so it was quite a thing. I had to help the F&B guys determine how much stock. So I did a bit of a survey. I was asking golfers, okay, so at a golf weekend like this, how many brandies and Coke would you drink? How many Castlelites can you pack away? So I had to do a bit of a survey and a bit of a thumbsuck. What I then did, I estimated how much stock I was going to use for the event, but I then negotiated with my suppliers to say, guys, this is a thumbsuck. This is the formulary I use to project my stock. I don't want to pull all my stock at once. But after day one of the event, I will be able to get a very good indication. Are you prepared to hold stock for me? And my supplier said, we're with you. We're partnering with you. We're with you. So at the end of day one, I'm like, okay, X amount of tots of brandy, so many Coke lights, blah, 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 so many Castle lights. Boom. Then we pulled, I sent a stock report through to them at like 2 in the morning. They were waiting for it. It was at my door by 7 o'clock the next morning. So if you've got events like this, work with your suppliers. It's in their interests to work with you, because the more they sell or you sell, the more they sell. Okay. Minimum delivery quantities. I'm sure that you all have suppliers that have minimum quantities. Okay. What is the minimum that they will deliver? Now, this is a bit of a juggling act, because often their minimums are too much for your needs, which means you're going to have stock wastages. So your minimums these are stipulated to ensure that a substantial order is placed and the company is charged a delivery fee if the orders are below required minimums. This can become fairly expensive if orders are done on a daily basis and in no organized manner. So your minimum delivery quantities you need to look at very closely. If you're ordering below the minimums and they want to charge you a delivery fee on that, should you not be looking for alternate suppliers? If they're insistent on minimum quantities, but that is far greater than what your usage is going to be, you're going to sit with stock waste. Okay, so these are all things that you need to take into consideration when working with your suppliers. Okay, folks, it's now 10:10, and I'm sure that you all need a little bit of a body break and a coffee. I need a coffee. So let's agree it's 10:10. Can we take, how long will it take you folks to grab a coffee and so on?
Let's come back at 25 past, Matt. Margaret, if we can.
Me? I thought you were on load shedding.
I'm here.
10:25 is good for me.
Guys, just a quick reminder, maybe in your coffee break as well, Matt is going to post that Google link into the chat box again. If you've not completed it, please complete it. Otherwise, we are not going to know you were on this webinar and we're not going to be able to recognize you accordingly. So please complete the Google form link, and each and every person in front of the computer screen must complete their own form, please. Thank you so much. See you guys at 25 past.
Thank you. See you guys at 25 past. Cuckoo.
Bye. For
Bye.
now.